guys, to Stacy, and it is finally 2022. I love the feeling of a new year because people tend to be more positive and more hopeful towards the future. They have this sense of new beginning, a new start, a new me, then towards the end of the year. So I thought it would be perfect for me to share with you guys my New Year's resolutions. I always make set of resolutions that I would like to achieve throughout the year at the beginning of the year, as normally people would do. And this year I thought it might be fun if I actually took you guys along the journey and see how many of these resolutions I can actually achieve by the end of this year. I'm giving myself 2022 missions and I'm going to take you guys along with me. This year's resolution, I made them a little different to those of previous years because before I was a bit cliche and said I want to be X kilograms by the end of this year. I want to eat only healthy and no sugar at all, or I want to read how many books and what kind of books I want to read. But I realized those kind of resolutions just put too much regulations on yourselves, and at the end of the year, like, you don't really have fun doing it, so you don't end up achieving them either. I don't think resolutions should be too harsh on yourself. Rather, it should be something that can help you improve yourself and upgrade yourself and help you become a different version of yourself at the end of the year that you will be proud of and also have fun along the way. So these resolutions that I chose this year, I would think I'm going to have fun achieving them, and I made it as realistic as possible so that I actually feel very accomplished at the end of the year and I can enjoy the journey as well. So on top of my resolution is actually the biggest goal that I have this year. It is the biggest change that I'm going to make in my life in the past few years for sure, and it is a very big step for me, and it is to relocate to Singapore or possibly another country for half of the time. I do have a plan to live half the time in Korea and half the time overseas, and while I can't really share more details about why and how right now, it is something that I am planning on doing this year. So that is on top of my 2022 resolutions list. I put this at the very top because it's obviously the biggest change that I'm going to make, and depending on this, my lifestyle will change completely and I'll be opening a new chapter in my life, and it's a very exciting thing. It is one of the main things that I'm going to carry out this year, and hopefully I will do this sooner than I think. I'll try to share as much as possible with relocating to another country and a city because I know how many people want to do this, but they're actually really scared to do it as well. Same goes for me. I always thought about it, but never really did it because it seemed too bizarre to achieve and do. But I realized there's nothing too scary to do and nothing too impossible to do. Especially moving a country. First of all, I've done it already, even though it was under my parents' care. But still, I've done it already and I know what it feels like, and it honestly feels freaking amazing. So I'm super excited, and to help other people who want to possibly relocate to another country or even Singapore, I'll try to share as much information as possible and my experience with you guys. And the second thing that I really want to achieve this year is get a full driver's license. So yep, I am 26, turning 27 this year, and I still don't have a driver's license. It is a little bit embarrassing. So when I was in New Zealand, I actually did get up to restricted. So in New Zealand there are 3 steps. You get the learners, then the restricted, then the full license. So I did get a restricted license. So I did drive around by myself and everything legally. But I didn't get a full license where I can transfer it to different countries and get their license or drive other people around with me in the car. So I did that, and then I just came to Korea and just never really got to it because in Korea you don't really need a car. Like, the public transport here is amazing, but I realized by traveling Europe that my traveling experiences are very limited just because I can't drive in other countries, especially when I'm not exactly the city kind of person and I really enjoy traveling to nature side, the countryside where the mountains and oceans are. So I thought it's something that I have to get over and done with this year so that I can enjoy so much more for the rest of my life. I've already done the written test, so now I need to do my technical test and hopefully I can pass. So that's number 2 on my New Year's resolution list. And the next one is really exciting. It's something really simple and easy, yet I just never really got around to it, only because I've actually been traveling a lot lately, so I didn't really have time to take these classes. And my 3rd resolution is to take bouldering classes. I'm actually gonna get right onto it depending on how my move to Singapore goes, because you know, I love hiking. If you don't know, I love hiking. And in Korea, when you hike, there are so many rocks and there are so many areas where you can go rock climbing. But it is obviously very dangerous sports to get into, so I didn't want to just jump into it. I want to know the basic skills. I want to know what kind of equipment that I need properly so then I don't fall and injure myself badly, because that has happened to me once and that was not fun. So I'm going to be taking bouldering classes to learn about this new extreme sport that I'm going to get into, and it's so exciting because I'm really pushing my limit and my getting out of my comfort zone and doing something more with adrenaline rush and something that can be seen more dangerous but also at the same time very adventurous. And hiking made me realize how beautiful the nature is, and the view you get from hiking is unspeakable. It just, you can't explain it, you just have to be there to experience it. And I can only imagine what kind of view and experience I will have through rock climbing. So bouldering class is my first step to that. So I'm really excited about it. I already did all my research, so I just need to do it, find the right timing. Next missions on my 2022 resolution list are all about learning. I said on my IG story already that 2022 is going to be all about learning. There are so many things that I'm interested in that I love, but I just never really took time to actually study them or really learn about it. So this year I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not just going to be thinking about it, and I'm actually just going to delve into it and study about all the things that I'm really interested about. And some of the things that I'm really interested about are art history, Korean history. I grew up in New Zealand, so I learned Western history, so I'm not too familiar with the Korean timeline and everything, but I love my country and I love my culture. So it's only appropriate for me to study about them. So I'm going to study about Korean history. I also really want to study about more philosophy. I did study philosophy a little bit back in high school when I was studying classical studies, but I want to go more deep into it. Philosophy is something that I'm really interested in and that really intrigues me because it really changes how I think and view the world, and it broadens my perspective a lot for sure. So that's something that I really want to learn this year as well. Another thing that I would really like to get into this year is exploring my own country. Traveling through Europe made me realize how each city has its own beauty and so much to look at. I just didn't have enough time to look at everything, you know? And then I thought about my own city and my own country, and I realized people actually don't know about their own city than the tourists. Tourists more about that city that they're traveling to than people that actually live there, because naturally we get too used to it, so we just take our city and our culture and our history for granted. And when I was in Paris, I realized how many museums and art galleries there are, and then I thought about Korea and so on, and I realized there are so many historical buildings and museums and art galleries in Korea as well, but I just never really check them out because I'm more focused on going to cute little cafes and what's new and hot. So this year I decided that I really want to go to the museums and learn more about Korean history, as well as actually visiting some Korean touristy spots. And I really suggest you guys to do the same as well. What's famous in your city? I'm sure there's more history and more interesting things about your city than you actually think. So go explore. Next up are the things that I really want to adapt in 2022 to change as a person and change my lifestyle pretty drastically. So first thing is I want to spend less money. To be honest, compared to other people, I really don't spend much money. That's how I can actually afford to go traveling around so much, because I don't drink, I don't shop, I don't really eat out, I don't party, I don't see friends that much because I like staying home. And all my hobbies, they are not that costly because I like hiking and I like reading, and those are the hobbies that don't really require you to spend too much money. But at the same time, I think I do have a tendency to just spend a little bit just like mindlessly. I buy things that I don't really need, like same as other people, a lot less than other people, but still I really want to cut down even more on my spending. So last year what I did was I created a budget sheet. I recorded every single thing that I spent money on, like month, and I broke it down into months, and I saw how much. Back to it. So last year I kind of checked like how much money I was spending monthly, and I realized I was spending way less than other people, but more than I thought I did, and a lot of it actually came from useless things or something that I really didn't need to spend money on. And I did try to give myself like a certain amount of budget to spend each month, but that didn't really work. So what I'm going to do this year is actually give budget for specific categories, and I think that way it will just give me more flexibility on how I spend money, but at the same time make sure that I don't spend money on things that are useless, like candies or buying miscellaneous things that I really don't need. Hopefully this works out better, but I think it's a good idea so far. I will definitely do a full-on video once I have a full-on plan on how I'm going to budget my funds this year. And another thing that I want to do in 2022 to really change my lifestyle is to go 100% cruelty-free. I know I've already talked about cruelty-free products and vegan products on my channel quite a few times. It's because I obviously really do care about sustainability, and it is only last year that I really became more aware of it and did really want to change and started taking actions. But obviously going completely eco-friendly is not as easy, because if you think about it, we are surrounded by wasteful products around us and we are too used to it. So to strip down everything and changing it all at once is pretty unrealistic. So I have been changing a little step by step, but I realized that I'm being a little too lenient with myself with beauty products, even when I promised myself that I will go as cruelty-free as possible. Like when it comes to hair products, like it's kind of hard to find cruelty-free, and cruelty-free products tend to be more expensive as well. So that's what kind of stopped me from spending a little extra. But hopefully with my new budgeting plan, this won't be a problem anymore. And so by the end of March at the very latest, I want to change all my beauty products to 100% cruelty-free. So far my cosmetics, so my lipstick, my foundation, my eyebrow pencil, all that are cruelty-free and vegan. But when it comes to toiletries like shampoo and I think my body wash and my body lotion, they're not exactly 100% cruelty-free and vegan. So those are the kind of things I really want to replace and make sure that all the things that I put on my body, all the products are cruelty-free and they have not been tested on animals, because I still feel very strongly about cruelty-free and animal testing. I just, it's making me tear up again. I just don't think it's a way to go. It's very unnecessary and just very unfair and immoral as well. So that's something that I really want to achieve as soon as possible. But at the same time, I don't want anything going to the waste. So the shampoo that I'm using right now, I am using special shampoo for my hair because I was losing a lot of hair due to stress, so I had to use special kind of shampoo, and that obviously wasn't cruelty-free. But I don't want to throw that away straight away, because if I throw the shampoo away, technically I've already bought it and used it, so I'll be wasting it. So I don't want anything going to the waste. So as soon as I'm finished with the current products that I'm using, I'm replacing it with the cruelty-free product. And once I have completed my transformation, I will share every single product with you guys, so then it will help you guys change to cruelty-free product as well. And the last mission that I have for myself this year to change my lifestyle to become a better person and more sustainable person is to live more sustainably. As I said, it is really hard to change our habits and our lifestyles all at once, just over a night, because we are exposed to so much waste, such as plastic, and even if though they're recycled, all this wrapping papers and Glad wrap and plastic bags and straws and whatnot. So this year I want to be much more conscious with what I use and what I consume, and try to produce as less waste as possible. And I'm definitely going to make a video on this because I do have a plan to become more sustainable. I do want to change a lot of my products to more sustainable things. And at first it might feel like you're buying too many new things, but at the end of the day, those are the items that's going to last longer and be more sustainable in your life. It's good for your body, your mind, you feel so much better, and it's also good for the environment, obviously. So it's just an option that everyone should be really considering and taking action on in 2022. And lastly, these are some of the things that I want to achieve in 2022 regarding my career. So, as you guys know or may not know, I have got myself a yoga instructor license certificate last year because I always loved yoga, and I realized that's the kind of path that I want to take for my career. It's going to make me happy. It's going to make me physically and mindfully and spiritually very healthy and well as well. So that was the path that I wanted to take, and I already took my first step by getting the instructor license. It is an international license, so I can teach wherever, which gives me a lot of options in life. So these are some of the things that's going to enhance my yoga career and what I want to achieve regarding yoga and my career. First of all, I want to start my career as a yoga instructor first. So I got my certificate, but because of traveling and school and everything, I haven't actually started teaching at all. Even though I've been practicing with my family and my friends, I haven't applied to any studios to teach. So that's the thing that I'm going to start this year. As soon as possible, hopefully in February, I'm going to start applying to studios and become a official yoga instructor. And the second thing that I would like to do is I want to create at least 5 yoga videos, yoga contents for my YouTube channel. It's something that I always wanted to do, and that I also actually attempted to do once. You can check out the video here. I don't know where the cards are. I actually made a video on my daily morning yoga routine, and I want to make more contents like that because I want to share with you guys the goodness of yoga. It really helps you enhance your physicality and also helps you calm down your mind and cleanse your soul. As well as teaching you guys and other people, I want to enhance my yoga skills as well. I am also going to be obviously just continuously studying yoga and completing my study. When it comes to Ashtanga, there is such a long course and so much to learn for me still. So my goal this year is to really focus on the Ashtanga sequences and really perfecting the primary series at the very least. And of course, to further my yoga experience and my skill, I want to keep on, studying new things, and I want to broaden my skill to aerial yoga as well as learning about the body and anatomy. It only makes sense for me to teach people if I really know about how our bodies work and our muscles work, and how, so that I can actually understand what kind of poses have really good effect or impact on our body and what part of our body as well. So I'm going to be taking classes on those 2 programs as well, and hopefully I can be more certified and more knowledgeable so that I can share it with the world and help other people just get better with their body and their mind and their soul. So that is it for 2022 resolutions for Stacey. A lot of missions to achieve, but if I really think about it and look at the list, they all seem very doable if I just put my mind to it and plan it well. I am so excited to just carry out these resolutions. Like, just making this video just made me really like excited for 2022 so much. Time passes really fast, so I really need to get into it and put it into action, and I only have good feelings for this year. 2022 is going to be so fun. At the end of this year, I'm going to be so much of a better person. I'll be so happy with myself. I can already feel it, and I want you guys to be part of this journey as well. And please share with me, what kind of New Year's resolutions do you guys have, and how was last year? Did you guys achieve it pretty well? Are you guys going to be repeating the same resolution? Share it in the comment section, and Silver will read them and let me know and comment back to you guys. It was Stacey from 2022, and let's really make this year count.